Chapter 11, Nina. I had my blood test about a week ago. Someone from the doctor's office called to give me the results. I missed the call and they left a voicemail. When I called back, I was placed on hold and finally the nurse from the other day answered and read off the results. You are pregnant. Dr. Johnston wants to see you in about 3 weeks. I can transfer you back to the front desk to schedule your appointment. Congratulations. I already knew what she had just confirmed, if the breast tenderness, morning sickness, or the weird cravings are any indicator. Armed with this information, I can now accept Dominic's proposal. I'm still debating on whether or not to tell Philip about the baby. Does he really deserve to know? Then I have to be concerned about his family trying to take my baby from me since he's in jail. I schedule my next prenatal visit and hang up. I find Dominic on the sales floor and tell him what we already suspected. It's official. You know we're going to be fine, right? Are you going to marry me now? Is that your official proposal? My official proposal was at the doctor's office last week. This is me letting you know that I'm still interested. He smiles and leans down to kiss the top of my head. We can make it a quick wedding in Vegas and come back here. I already booked our flight and our appointment with Elvis. No, you didn't. Are you serious? What about clothes? I can't believe this man did this for me, or rather us. I packed a small bag, but we should be back before this evening. It's Vegas. Who cares what you wear? We have time to change before the flight if it makes you feel any better. I look down at my clothes and say, no biggie. We'll probably fit right in as I pull him toward the exit. I can't believe I'm heading to Las Vegas with this man to get married. There will be time to get all dressed up later. He normally wears t-shirts, and this morning he chose to wear a black button-down shirt and dark wash jeans. He already knew what was going to happen today. I have on a white flowy blouse and dark wash jeans. That will have to do for a Vegas wedding. Hold on, let me tell Chris that I'm leaving. He lets Chris know that he will be back tomorrow morning. Let's go, beautiful. Eager much? Who's the eager one here? You set all this up before I knew I was officially pregnant. He stops me before we make it to the exit. I knew that I wanted to marry you the night that you chose not to take that pill. I knew then what kind of woman you were, caring, selfless, and willing to sacrifice for someone else. I'm all in, Nina. I knew then that I was in love with you. I hope you can grow to love me. Too late. I knew what kind of man you were when you invited me to stay with you that first night. Talk about caring, selfless, and sacrificing for others. I love you, Nina. Be still my heart. I love you too, Dominic. Now we're going to have to get more reasonable mode of transportation or drive my car from now on. I laugh and he grimaces. Once I get bigger, there's no way I'll be able to get up in that truck. No, he whines. Speaking of getting bigger, how are you going to break the news to your family? I still don't know how I'm going to tell my family about you or the baby. My mom is going to be so upset that she didn't get to plan an elaborate wedding. I would just tell them. My family just wants me to be happy, hitched, and having grandbabies for them. If it becomes a big deal, we can have a second wedding so that our family and friends can attend. It doesn't matter to me. I just want you to be happy. Unbelievably so. Let's do this and then see what the rent's response is. We can wait a few weeks to announce the baby. I don't want it to look like a shotgun wedding. It didn't even get that opportunity. Thank you for stepping into a role that you didn't have to. You don't know what this means to me. I can never repay you for this. You're willing to run off to Vegas to marry me. That is repayment enough. We can play 20 questions on the plane. Now let's go, babe. I think my knees went weak for a good reason this time. Oh, I owe you something. He stops me mid-stride and kneels in front of me, pulling a tiny pink velvet box out of his shirt pocket. I cover my face. He takes my left hand and proposes right there in the foyer of the gun range. Nina Belton, let's make this official. Will you marry me? Yes. He opens the box and takes the ring out and places it on my left ring finger. How did you know my ring size? I guessed. Do you like it? Yes, I do. I turn my hand so that the light hits it. It is a half carat princess cut diamond ring set in white gold. Nothing flashy, and that's fine with me. It's beautiful. He stands and said, "Good, let's go," dragging me behind him to his truck, like it wasn't him stopping in the middle of the foyer to officially propose to me. If I didn't love this man before, I know I do now. He's so thoughtful and sweet. I'm happy to claim him as my own. We get to his ridiculously tall truck, and this time he stops to rub a hand over my lower belly. I guess it hit him that there's officially a baby in there. He seems to embrace the fact that the baby isn't his, but he loves it anyway because it's half mine. Maybe that is enough reason for him to take us on. One day I hope to give him one or two of his own. He gently lifts me into the truck, turning me around so that he can kiss my belly this time. Be still, my galloping heart. The love in his eyes. I can't tell which one of us he's more in love with, me or the baby. As long as he understands we're a package deal. He closes the door and goes around to his side to get in. When he gets in, he adjusts my seatbelt so that the lap belt is flat against the top of my thighs. The fact that he is taking that kind of time tells me everything without saying a word. Precious cargo, he finally says and places his hand over my whole belly. This baby is probably not even the size of a grain of rice by now, and he's showing so much care and concern for him or her. How can I not fall for this man? I place my hand over his. Oh, before there's even a question, I do want to make love to you, but I won't rush you, and I want you to feel comfortable with the idea. I hadn't considered the idea of sex yet. Dominic does make me feel things that I haven't felt before. Obviously, he wants to. I just hope when we do that it doesn't trigger something. I'm not afraid of Dominic, but who knows what will flash through my mind during the act itself. Will I relive those horrific memories of being violated? Will I need the lights on? Will I shrink away from his touch? With all that in mind, I can only hope that he will give me time to wrap my head around the idea. He might as well know that before this incident that I'd never had sex before. Not that what Philip did is what I would consider sex. It was a violation of me, body, mind, and soul. I was violated, and so was this little life growing inside of me. My need to protect this little child from his father outweighs his needing to know about it. I stare out the passenger window and watch the road as we head to the local airport. Until this incident, I was a virgin. Not that I would consider what he did to me as sex. It wasn't sex. It was violence. Violence against you. I finally read his letter. The guy is off his rocker. The fact that he watched you for over a year and then wanted to know what it would be like to make love to you is a pretty bold statement. Didn't he threaten to kill you? How do you go from one extreme to the other? I don't understand it. Neither do I. All I know is that I have to give this baby the best life possible in spite of that man. That is the only good that came from this whole thing. And it really is. This baby represents that even though an adult made a bad choice, that there's innocence and purity still left in the world. This little one can do great things in the world with the proper upbringing. Babies are born a clean slate, and this one is no different. You're right. We will give this baby the best life possible. I already love him or her and can't wait to meet. My eyes tear up. He keeps amazing me. Every time I turn around, he says or does something to outdo the last thing he said or did. I put my hand on his on the console. Do you know how great you are? I don't expect him to answer. I have my moments, he chuckles softly. I squeeze his hand and wipe a tear from my face. My cell phone starts to ring in my purse, and I have to bend down to retrieve it. Looking at the screen, I notice that it is an Aurora Vista area code. Not sure if this is work-related, I go ahead and answer it. The recording says, "You have a collect call from the Aurora Vista Corrections Department. Do you wish to accept? Press 1 for yes or 2 for no." I place the call on speaker so that Dominic can hear it too. I mouth to Dom that it's a collect call. I press 1 and take a deep breath, hoping this guy doesn't say anything inappropriate with Dominic right here. "Nina, it's Philip." "Yeah? Did you get my letter?" he asked. "I did." No need to elaborate because the content of the letter made me uncomfortable. Did you read it? Yes. Short answers are all I can give him. I don't even owe him that. Are you going to come visit me? I put you on my list. He had to ask me that. I should have known that was coming. I look over at Dominic and he's staring straight ahead, white knuckling the steering wheel. I don't think that's a good idea. The only way that I can do it is if you add my fiance's name to the list as well. Fiance? Since when? Dominic answers. Since none of your business. She doesn't need to come visit you after what you did to her. Who is this? Philip asked Dom. Dominic Cannon. Nina and I are getting married this afternoon. If I have anything to say about it, she won't be visiting you. Nina, are you still there? Yes. How do you feel about that? Dominic's right. There's no need to visit you. What you did to me shouldn't have happened. I don't regret the baby or my decision to keep him or her. This guy's decisions have a ripple effect. But I'm going to do whatever I can to protect this little child. Hold on, Philip. I mute the phone and look over at Dominic and say, we're not telling him about the baby. He nods and I unmute the phone. Philip, you still there? Yes. So you're going to let someone else control what you do? He asks, and I think how ironic that he mentions controlling someone when he raped me and controlled me with threats. The nerve of this guy. Philip, you apologized in your letter. Let's leave it at that. Your actions have consequences, and I'm under zero obligation to forgive you. I will forgive you so that I don't let you destroy my peace of mind. You are just a bad memory that I will work on trying to forget. That will be impossible when I look into my innocent baby's face. At least Dominic will be with me through all of this. Nina, I am sorry. I have so many regrets in this situation. Thank you for acknowledging it. Unfortunately, you will have to live with what you did. This man will be tied to me for the rest of my life, whether I want to admit it or not. I don't have to see him, though, and neither does my baby. Hopefully, out of sight, out of mind is true. I gotta go. Good luck. I hang up before he can say anything else. Dominic kisses the back of my hand. You did good standing your ground. He's wrong. I'm not trying to control what you do. I want to protect you and the baby from him. He's already done enough damage to you physically and emotionally. I know. I appreciate you more than you'll ever know, Dominic. He puts his hand on my belly again. I love how protective he is. It warms me all over, and especially in the places that count. My head, my heart, and between my hips. I just might be able to make love to him sooner rather than later. I know he loves me and cares for me. Dominic is not him. Dominic isn't going to hurt me. Dominic is going to take care of me. Back to what you said earlier. I want to make love to you too. Can we take it slow? I'm willing to try. Of course. All I want is for you to be comfortable with the idea. If it is uncomfortable in any way, we can stop. I just wanted you to know where my head is at. No pressure. He smiles at me and says, Vegas does have hotel rooms that you can rent by the hour. He laughs again. I'm sure they do. I think we can wait until we get back to our bed. I cringe at the thought of an hourly rate hotel. No thank you. Let's get this done and get back home. Home. That sounds like an excellent place to get back to. We really haven't had much conversation about where we will live, but it makes more sense to live in Dom's owned house than in my tiny rental with 2 bedrooms on a small city lot. I can't wait to get back home. Wherever you are, I am home. When I was growing up and thinking about how my life would turn out, a whirlwind romance and a baby weren't in my life plans. Now that I'm here, I wouldn't have it any other way. I'm excited to see how this turns out. I love you so much, Dominic. I put my hand on my belly and whisper, I love you too, Peanut. I love you both. Just like that, this man draws me in further. He's a black hole, but instead of destroying everything in his path, he restores and heals. His gravitational pull is too strong to resist, and I don't want to fight it.